Hi guys, how we doing? Welcome back to another video. So I'm teaching myself microcontroller programming using this bit of kit. In the last video I finally got to what I wanted to get to, which was doing interrupts. So I'm going through this curriculum which is called Introduction to Microcontroller Programming. You probably already know that by now. This bit here, I don't know what page I'm on. It's 101 pages. I think I'm on like 85 maybe. 7 timer interrupts, is that it? External interrupts, yeah, I'm on this one here. So page 83. Cool. So what I did in the last video, if I can, it's been about 2 weeks now since the last video. I've had some time off. All right. What were there was 2 types of interrupts basically. So what the curriculum was telling me that I needed to redesign the program using interrupt single pin on RB0, and then redesign it using both kinds of external interrupts. So single pin interrupts. So that's the first type, single pin interrupt, and the second type is an IOC interrupt. So you got single pin interrupts and you've got an interrupt on change, which I don't know the difference. So what we will do is let's just quickly ask ChatGPT. Yeah, I'm Mr. ChatGPT. All right, so what's the difference? What it comes out with. Now, obviously, the curriculum itself should be teaching me this, and it does. There's a little blurb up here. I haven't read this for 2 weeks. Let's just read this again quickly. In earlier exercises, the microcontroller did not necessarily react to input straight away because it was busy doing something else. The external interrupt features of the PIC solve this problem. On the 16F18877, the external interrupts are on pin RA0 to RB07, RB7, and all pins on port A, B, D, and E as an interrupt on change. Okay, so this one, this single pin one, is RA0, and then all the way to RB7. So that's one type of interrupt, a single pin interrupt. Then there's a second interrupt. All the pins on port A, B, D, and E. So that is these microcontroller ones. I'll show you here. I think it's these ones that are on the E-blocks. I don't know what the difference is. And is there anything that mentions it on this picture here? So you got a block diagram, target microcontroller, switch and LED, audio output, 7-segment display. And then we've got port A, B, LED, 7-segment display, ports C, D, E. Yeah. So I don't know what any of this diagram stuff means. So let's go back to this. If these interrupts are initialized correctly, then a change on the selected pins can cause the program to stop execution immediately and switch to executing the appropriate interrupt macro. We then have what is called a real-time execution. Okay, I get what an interrupt is. What I don't get is the difference. So let's go back to ChatGPT. So the image highlights 2 types of interrupts: single pin interrupts, interrupt on change. Here's a breakdown of the difference. Single pin interrupts. A single pin interrupt is configured on a specific GPIO pin. The interrupt occurs when there is a specific change on that pin, such as rising edge, falling edge. Okay, so the interrupt on change interrupts. Interrupt on change interrupts are more flexible. They can monitor multiple GPIO pins at once. Nice. Ah, nice. Okay. So what was I doing in the last program? All right, let's finish reading this first. This type of interrupt is triggered whenever any of the monitored pins change their state, whether it is from low to high or high to low. IOC interrupts are useful for monitoring multiple inputs without needing a dedicated interrupt for each pin. So single pin interrupts are specific to that particular pin. IOC monitors a bunch. All right. So let's just go through the program that we did last time. So we start the LCD, we wait 500 milliseconds, and then we're just looking out for an interrupt. And this interrupt is on one pin. I don't know which pin it is. It's on pin A0. Okay, so let's test that. I can't actually remember what I did in the last video. So I think this program's running now. If I reset it, okay, so now the program is sitting there waiting for an interrupt on A0, which is that. So if I press any of the other buttons, it shouldn't do anything. Yep, nothing. And A0. There we go, and then timer starts. So that's an interrupt on pin. Okay. So what do we do now? What did we wanted? What was it? Now redesign it. So let's just read this again because I've forgotten it all. Write a program to time how many seconds have passed since the program was reset and displays a result on an LCD. Use a variable called count whose value is displayed on the LEDs. Don't use an interrupt. Use a 1 second delay, and a rise and end edge on pin RB0 should call a macro that adds 1 to count. Huh? A rise and edge on pin RB0. Okay. I don't think I did my last program properly. I can't remember why I didn't do that. So, oops, my phone on silent. Alright, so I can do properties pin. So I have A0 and I don't know how to select RB0, whatever pin that is. I guess that depends on the microcontroller, and I need to, I don't understand that. Yeah, again, I haven't been taught how to like configure pins, and I don't know. I kind of understand that you got port A, B, C, D on this EBlocks thing, but I don't know how to access the ports on the actual microcontroller itself. So anyways, so we'll just scrap that. So redesign it using both kinds of external interrupts. So triggering a single pin interrupt increments count, and triggering an IOC interrupt decrements count. So that's not what I'm doing right now anyways, and quite frankly I don't really want to do this. Oh man, I hate it when I'm asked to do something given no guidance, like RB. How do I get to RB0? Anyways, so what am I doing right now? My program right now, I'm waiting for that interrupt, and then when I get that interrupt, I then call this program timer 1 second, which then starts counting. So triggering a single pin increments count. Oh man, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea. I'm thinking I basically split. I've got this time elapsed running. So should I just print this? So instead of writing it all here, I'll take this. So it just increments that every 1 second. And I'll add that. I don't know. I'll place that here. So it's time elapsed. And then, okay. I think this will work. So time elapsed and then just look for that interrupt. So, okay, first let's just see if this program works. I'm not convinced it's going to work. Then if this works, what I'll then do is I will then I'll then make another variable. No, because it's not even asking me to use the time elapse, it's just doing a count. So to say whenever you press that interrupt, count up. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I know what I'm doing now. I know what I'm doing. So start, let me carry on. So I don't even need to test it. Well, does it work? Okay, so it's printed that to the screen. Oh. Printed out to the screen. If I press it, nothing. It's stuck right now. So that doesn't work. But okay, we'll come back to that. So what I want to do is I want that whenever you press the interrupt, it doesn't need to be a while loop, just increment that by 1. And let's just put 500 millisecond delay. So whenever you press A0, so which is that pin interrupt here, so that's set there into pin, then increment the counter by 1. And then I need another macro now. And I need to say, let's think about this. I need another macro. So create new macro. Okay, create new macro, and then let's do count minus minus for decrement. That's what we're going to call it. Oh, it doesn't allow you to do that. Count decrement. That's one macro. Okay, and edit macro. There you go. So that's how. Can I rename this macro? How do I rename my macros? Components, macros. There you go. Edit macro details. So this one should be called count increment and then decrement. So we've got count increment, count decrement. Count decrement is just going to do this, but the reverse. The time elapsed. So we should just change this variable from time elapsed to just be called. Can I edit it? I can edit it. Let's just change it to count. Ah, you bug it, and it didn't just replace them. It didn't update them for me. That's annoying. Count. That's annoying. Okay, it did it there. So count decrement, count increment, 500 millisecond delay, and then this interrupt now, instead of it being into pin, we just want to say into port. And then is it just going to do all of them, A, B, C? I don't want, oh, it says select pins. Ah, look, here's how I select specific pins. Okay. So how do I do this? Oh, trigger on rising edge, trigger on falling edge, trigger on both edges. That's cool. So, but now the problem is I don't know what, because you've given me, yeah, this is confusing. You've given me the microcontroller ports, and I want the EBlocks ports. I want port A, port B, port C. So I don't know what RB, like, I don't know what RA7 or RB0 or any of these stuff means. I want these ports. That's what I want. I want any interrupt on that whole port A. Now, how do I know what's connected to port A? Oh, it doesn't make sense, man. Why is it so hard? All right, cool. So let's go Matrix website. Oh dear. EBlocks, and then I need some sort of document. I don't even know what I'm looking for really. EBlocks datasheet maybe? I don't think so though. And then what do I want? Pick. I want the pick microcontroller. Okay. So it shows me what ports I've got, but I want to know how they're linked. So here's the schematic. Is this useful to me? Where's the EBlocks ports? There. So these are the EBlocks connectors. I mean, what student's going to do this? And then, okay, cool. So, is this right? A0 is on port A, I believe. How do I know that this is port A and that's not port A? I've no idea. So, yeah, I need to know which. Why are they not labeled port A, port B, port C, port D? There's junction J1, J2, J3, J16, J17, and there's no silk screen on. There's no silk screen on the PCB telling me what's what. It's too difficult to do what you want here. So let's assume, and this is a stupid thing to assume. You shouldn't assume. You should just find out. Let's assume that this one is A. So A0. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. You got A0, B0, C0, D0, E0. Yep. Okay, cool. So this is A0. So A0 underscore P, and I need to find wherever that goes to. So this is a bus line connection. So A0P, I've kind of worked with the schematic, so I know that you got, I think it goes here, A0P, and that goes to A0. So where does A0 go? A0 is going to go onto the microcontroller, isn't it? So A0, A2. Where's A0? A, D, B, D, A0. A0 and A1 are there in that corner there. So they go to pins PE0 and PE1. So does that mean if I go back to here and select pins, I have no idea. PE0, does that even exist? I guess because we establish already that in this it said that you could only use certain pins, so you could only use RA0 to RB7. So does that mean you can't use the port interrupt on pin A, or at least you can't use the first two? Oh no, they're all A2, A3, A4, and A5 are PE as well. So I think the B0, Bs are all PDs as well. What are these? What is this naming stuff on this microcontroller, man? This microcontroller does not match that. 16F18877. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong microcontroller. This is the silly ghost module thing. This is this thing here with this ghost sticker on it. Man, wait, I've literally just driven up from London, which is a 5-hour drive, and yeah, my head's not with it. So yeah, all right. So that's that. So forget that. Bloody hell. Never easy. All right, where's my microcontroller then? Not that, is it? RB. That's it, yeah. Oh, that looks ugly. So this is my microcontroller. Okay. Start again. A0 is now RA0. Cool, there we go. A1, RA1, A2, RA2. Cool. So now we can pick RA0, which is where? RA6, RA7, RC, RD, RB, RB, RA. RA0, 1, 2, 3. So I want this one, this one, this one, this one. Should trigger on rising edge or falling edge? I don't know. So RA0, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5. Is there more? 6, 7. Alright, I think we've done it. Bloody hell, that was a ball ache. So now we should be triggering. If this doesn't work, I have no idea now if it has to do with my dodgy pin selection or my crappy code. I don't know. So what this should do now, which we've already established that it didn't work last time, so that this might not work. Let me put my pin interrupt. So this pin interrupt, I'm going to put it onto B0. All right, that should count up, should count down. Even there, so you should count up, you should count down. So I guess the problem with this is that it's got no way of getting back out of that code, right? So once it goes to that code, it just, oh, it finishes, yeah, and then it should come back out. All right, let's try it. I mean, if it's not evident, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to learn microcontroller programming, hence I don't know what I'm doing. And it sucks that this, in order to teach such a massive topic like interrupts, this is the only information I have. Yeah, it's just silly. I mean, it does say Flowcode wiki, so it's kind of just saying, go on the wiki, my friend, and be free. All right, where are we at now? So that's currently gobbledygook. What happened? I guess it's like, is that I can see, oh, that LED is on, so that kind of tells me that that's being pressed right now. Reset it. Time elapsed. And then it just starts writing gobbledygook. Dang, I don't know what to do. So let's put all of this back inside each one. Do we need to put them in a while loop? I don't know. So that should just print the count. So you start the program, start the screen. Oops. Start the program, start the screen, yeah. And then look at these. But the problem is, yeah. So here's another thing I don't understand, which is that whenever it's writing to the screen, these LEDs are just lighting up all the time. So to me, you can't really put any interrupt on this B one. It just kind of just bugs out. So I kind of then want to use like this keypad, but I can't get that keypad working. So I've actually, yeah. Let me put my. This is just such an absolute sham. I mean, it's literally the worst. My worst experience learning something. So put it on pin and let's go back. Let's go to A7. So I can't really write to pin. I can't write to anything on B because the LCD just starts lighting up all of this stuff. And I don't know why it does it. It's some sort of circuitry issue, obviously, because we've only got 16 pins to use from here. But it's just crap as well. Like, at least explain to me why these lights are just lighting up randomly as you're writing to the screen. So you'll see now, none of these LEDs are on. As soon as something gets written to the screen, they just start bobbing on. Like, there you go, bang, bang, bang. So they just started turning on. There's not gobbledygook on the screen anymore, which is good. So if I press A7, it counts up. That works correctly. But I did have my interrupt. You know, the whole port interrupt. I selected A0 through to 7. So I kind of think it should be doing both there. If I just hold it, what happens? Nothing. So that works. Then can I decrement? No, so the port one's not working. Yeah, nothing on any of them. Okay, so counting up is working. IOC, let's go back to here. IOC for ABC properties, and it calls decrement. So properties, select pins. Oh, it's gone. They're gone. RA0, 1, 2, 3, and then 6. Oh, 4 and 5. How do I select that then? Okay, that's there. Click OK. Okay, alright, let's check that's there again. So properties, select pins. It's still there. Okay. 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 Alright, let's try that again. I don't know what happened. It cleared out what I wanted. So, alright. Now I've deselected A7 there. So this one should count up and the rest of these should count down, hopefully. Have I just damaged that screen? Oh, it's just a screen protector. Get it off. Cool. Alright. Nothing's. Oh, it's not finished yet. Alright, it's finished now. There we go. The count up works. Yep, countdown. Oh, it counted up. Oh, wait, it counted down. Oh, it's counting down. Hey, oh, and it's gone to minus. Oh, it's counting down. Then count up. Yes. Yes, man. Yes. Oh, what happened there? It went fast. Oh. Oh. What's happening there? Did you see? Wait, what? What happened there? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Wait, it bugged out a bit there. Sorry, that is like shaking the hell. I'm shaking the hell out of it. Alright, I'm just pressing down, down, down. Does it hold that? Ah, yeah. So that, interestingly, that 0 is not being cleared, which kind of makes sense to me. So let me just put a clear somewhere. But yeah, anyway, so that's a little minor program bug, but it works, right? It just works. I'll get rid of that that little bug because otherwise I'll forget it. And if I come back and do this programming again in 2 weeks' time, I'll just forget. So if I do, let's clear the screen. So LCD generic. I'll bring it back here. Clear. Close that. Now we've got a clear there. Oops. We've got a clear there, and then on decrement we've got a clear, and now that should just work beautifully. Yes, man. Yes, we did it. Oh, it feels good, man. It does. This is hard for me, and maybe I have just the complete wrong expectations, but I've programmed many microcontrollers before. I've used interrupts, many times on STM32. I've messed about with Arduino to a lot. I've got a lot of Arduinos in the field per se, but to be struggling this much with it, it doesn't feel good, and it doesn't bode well for me for the success of the product, because I just think, is a 16-year-old going to be struggling, or are you just going to just put this back down, or is a college professor, are they going to bother? So now this should get rid of this second digit. If I decrement down, please go. Yay! Well done, guys. Well done. We did it. Thank you very much for watching. I'm happy. Hopefully you're happy. I'm happy, Chips. Woo! Thanks for watching, guys. I shall see you in the next one. No idea what's next. Who cares? I'm just happy this is done. Thank you.